Hi, Good Morning Britain. A quarter would support the return of page 3. 25% are on your side, Sam, but the majority are against it.
I'll tell you where this came from, Richard.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where.
Yeah, I was talking. I get in lots of taxis, and many taxi drivers say they miss me very much on page 3 and help them grow up into these lovely young men they are today. And I was on an interview as well one day talking about it, and I said, I've got 2 boys now, you know, obviously I'm marrying my future wife very soon, and I've been looking after, well, I call myself a sponsored mother with 2 young boys who are 20, who I've known since they were 14. And the stuff that kids or young people are exposed to these days on the internet, I find, I can't, it's just such a shame that they're exposed to it so much. And these young girls, I won't mention these sites, what they go on, but these young girls feel they have to perform a certain way to be... Boys feel girls have got to act to perform, you know, a certain way. And I just think page 3 was never risque. It was the girl next door with a smile on her face.
That's so interesting.
Every
because,
family
of course,
read the paper.
Page 3 went because people, you know, there had been years of people saying it's exploitative and it's too much and it's effectively pornography.
The only way it
newspaper.
can be exploitative is because listen, these girls who go on page 3, these girls who are at university trying to pay their way for uni and they're doing they're not forced to do this.
But what you're saying
women.
is that even though that was the view of page 3, actually it's the innocent end of a spectrum.
It is. I mean, look what's available to us now.
But how would the return of page 3 alter any of that? I mean, you're absolutely right about pornography. It's pernicious, but how would bringing back page 3 in any way...
Well, I mean, it's a little bit over the top that I want page 3 back. I'm not going to go to Parliament and, you know, fight for it. I mean, many years ago they wanted to ban it, and Claire Short wanted to ban it.
That's right.
And the Sun used to say, come on, Sam, go to the Old Bailey and support. And I say, I don't want to get involved in the politics of it all. As far as I'm concerned, I was brought up reading the paper. Me and my mum used to look at the girls as much as boys did. We used to discuss their hair, what they were not wearing or wearing, or...
and back in the day, before internet pornography, so let's just move it out of the argument now. Back in the day, when the campaign was ongoing, and eventually, as we said, it was successful, and page 3 was banned by The Sun in 2015. What was your chief argument against the ban? What was your best shot at telling them that they were wrong?
Well, what I used to say, and I will say, that we all visit the Tate Gallery and we go to galleries, and most of the most beautiful pictures in those galleries are taken of women. And there wasn't cameras in those days. And I'm sure if there was, there'd be plenty of pictures in those galleries.
So you were effectively saying, what's wrong with the human form? What's wrong with the female human form?
We should... I think women should be proud of their bodies, whether they're... I think at the moment there's a lot of pressure for young girls to look a certain way. And I think what's great today is the diversity. That we don't have to be skinny. We don't have to look a certain way. We can be as... I think natural is the best way to be.
And what about age? Would that... I mean, for example, if this... It's not a campaign, it's just an argument you're making. But if it were to come back, would you oppose again?
Would I... My age, Richard?
Well, that's what I'm asking, because age is increasingly not seen as a barrier.
Well, I guess... well, Joan Collins did Playboy at 60.
Exactly.
So maybe I might do Playboy at 60. I've got no qualms with that. If there's photographers and photographers, and there's a thin line that you don't cross. And I think that's why... I did so well in the glamour business, because I was never tacky. There was pictures that I wouldn't do. My mum was my stylist. She was always there with me because I was young. And
if you hadn't done page 3, if it didn't exist, what would you have been? What would Sam Fox be? Well,
before page 3, I was going to the Judi Dench Mountview Theatre. I would have probably been an actress. And then before that, I went to Anna Scher Theatre from the age of 5. So I've always been involved in show business.
Well, you've got a record out, haven't you?
I've got a record out, ready for Gay Pride Month, which is right now. And I've written this song, and it's got a strong message, not only for the LGBTQI community, but for everybody out there. It's about, this is your life, live it any way you want to, and make your own decisions and be what you want to be. And basically, love is love.
You look very comfortable. Sorry, Susanna.
And when do you get married? Because you mentioned that that's coming up, the wedding.
Yeah, it sure is. It's very, very soon.
What, this summer?
Yeah, very soon, Richard.
Oh, OK, all right.
Very, very soon.
All right, fair enough. Listen, it's nice to see you. I mean, we first met at the Albert Dock on This Morning in 1988, I think. You came
my
up.
God, I've known you about 40 years. In actual fact, Richard, it's my 40 years anniversary next year. So I'm hoping to bring out my book and my album and have a big celebration.
Brilliant.
And you might be invited.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And I know you're on TikTok now, aren't you?
I am indeed.
Yeah. It's great to see you. It's a really interesting issue. I remember reading the book, you know, What Women Feel About, page 3, and there was that whole argument, wasn't there, if you were on a train. Like now, I wouldn't want to be on a train opposite somebody who was looking at pornography on their phone. Why should you be on a train with somebody who's opened a newspaper?
Well, they're doing it in Parliament, aren't they?
I know, I was just thinking that. Of course, if he'd been reading page 3 of The Sun back in 2015, would he have been sacked?
Maybe.
Sam,
right.
lovely to see
Good
you.
to see you, Sam.
I would just like to say a quick thing to my fans out there. I've got an operation on my throat coming up very, very soon. And I'm getting a lot of messages that people are very worried because they're not sure whether it's sinister or not.
OK.
So I'd just like to say to my fans out there, I'm having it done. As soon as I'm married, I'll be getting it taken out. Right. And I'm sure everything is going to be fine.
Good. I'm sure it will. And have a wonderful wedding day.
Stay positive. Absolutely right. Great to see you. Sam
Thank
Fox,
you very
thanks
much.
very much
Thanks
indeed.
a lot. Right, it's 8:34. The government is facing fresh legal challenges today to its controversial Rwanda immigration policy. Campaigners are seeking to overturn a judgment made on Friday that ruled the first deportation flight to the East African country could go ahead tomorrow, with, we think, about a dozen people on board.
Yes, this comes after protests in Manchester and at Gatwick, as well as reports that Prince Charles called the policy appalling. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment with the Conservative Government Minister, Victoria Prentice, who joins us now. But